As Ukraine ramps up its long-range strike capabilities, a breakthrough is taking shape, with German funding powering Ukraine's first hypersonic missile launch. Backed by a €5 billion defense package, Ukraine's Hrim-2 hypersonic missile is now entering serial production, marking a bold new chapter in Ukraine's ability to hit deep behind Russian lines, Euromaidan Press media outlet says. Ukraine has officially announced the development of its own domestically produced ballistic missile, the Hrim-2. After over a decade of delayed progress due to funding issues, the missile system is now entering serial production, accelerated by international military and financial support since the start of the full-scale war. Notably, Germany has provided a new €5 billion defense package, which includes significant investments in the domestic production of Ukrainian long-range weapon systems, including the development and production of the new ballistic missile. This aid enabled the Ukrainians not only to develop the missile, but also to initiate serial production of the Hrim-2 immediately after its development. Notably, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense also announced that they had already conducted a successful field test of the missile. Ukrainians shared footage of this strike, adding that it was used to destroy a Russian command post on the east bank of the Dnipro River Delta, Euromaidan Press says. This means that the Hrim-2 system is combat-tested and fully operational, opening the possibility of an increased number of similar precision strikes against Russian military targets deep behind the front line. The Hrim-2 is launched from a specialized ground vehicle that fires it into the air using a solid propellant rocket engine before following a set ballistic trajectory towards a stationary target. The Hrim-2 has an operational range of 300 kilometers and can reach speeds of up to Mach 5.2 or nearly 1.5 kilometers per second, making it a hypersonic missile. The 400-kilogram warhead allows for the destruction of hardened bunkers, logistics hubs, air bases and ammunition depots, especially because these are stationary targets that are easy to trace. Euromaidan Press says the capability of Hrim-2 to carry a heavy warhead for strikes within a 300-kilometer range marks a major leap forward for the Ukrainian precision strike capabilities, as the warhead is twice as big as that of ATACMS, which Ukrainians were previously dependent on for similar precision strikes. Furthermore, while Russian air defenses like the S-300 and S-400 are able to intercept targets at this speed on paper, as a missile enters the hypersonic range, a successful interception becomes increasingly unlikely, Euromaidan Press reports. Overall, the Ukrainians are rapidly developing their precision deep strike capabilities, enabled by massive German funding. Russian invaders have littered Andreevka with the corpses of assault groups and are unable to advance rapidly in the Sumy region. This was reported by Ukrainian Armed Forces serviceman Kirill Sazonov on the air of Novosti.live TV channel. There is no rapid advance. They are trying to take Yunakovka. I know this village very well. They are trying to encircle it, to block it. DRGs enter there. They are driven out. There is a battle for Yunakovka. Ours drove them out of Andreevka the other day. They tried to take Andreevka at any cost again. Everything there is simply covered with corpses of assault groups. They did not take Andreevka again. They are fighting for it. But they killed a lot of people, Sazonov noted. At the same time, the military man, citing intelligence, pilots and analysts, noted that the Russian occupiers had lost almost all of the reinforcements that they had sent there to storm. Now the assault is being carried out by the paratroopers. The Marines, precisely those highly mobile elite units, the 76th Airborne, the 106th Airborne, 3 Marine brigades, precisely those whom they wanted to preserve and transfer to other directions as the best assault units. But they lost the motorized riflemen and infantry in the Sumy region. The losses are such that only 8 remain from a company of 100 people, Sazonov noted. In his opinion, the Russians are going on the attack to slaughter because of the order of dictator Vladimir Putin to create a buffer zone. The chairman of the Ukrainian Center for Security and Cooperation, Sergei Kuzan, believes that the Russian summer offensive is now at its peak, but Russian dictator Vladimir Putin's plan to advance in Ukraine are not being fulfilled. By attacking Sumy, the Russian Federation wanted to stretch our front, but suffered significant damage in terms of equipment and manpower. The Ukrainian armed forces are systematically striking the enemy's logistics and reserves, and as a result, the pace of their advance, if not yet stopped, has been significantly delayed. And what the Russians planned, they have not accomplished. That is, they have not accomplished their tasks as of June. Today we can talk about stopping the advance in some directions, Kuzan noted. According to his explanation, the enemy launched a concentrated offensive in the Sumy direction with the aims of stretching out the Ukrainian forces. The Russians concentrated quite powerful strike units there. These are UAV units, their infantry, attack aircraft, paratroopers and Marines. And it was this 50,000-strong group that the Russians hoped, if not to occupy the regional center, Sumy, then at least to get as close as possible to its borders and from there destroy the city, the infrastructure. In this way, they wanted to stretch our front as much as possible and draw our truly limited resources away from their main direction of attack, from Donetsk. And it so happened that now the Russians, being at the peak of their offensive capabilities, the most favorable period is just underway. This is June. For their summer advance offensive, have suffered significant losses in terms of equipment and manpower, Kuzan emphasized. The expert emphasized that the Russians believe that they need to apply pressure and the front will crumble somewhere and to transfer reserves there to expand this penetration. But the Ukrainian forces are holding the front and demonstrating better results than even our Western partners expected. Sometimes even counterattacks are carried out.